All right, welcome in. Let's do a quick
Hey,
voice test.
test 1 2 1 2.
All right, everybody, how is the volume?
Hi, Vay. Decent.
All right, let us begin. Oh God, I'm spilling shit.
I'm gonna pop out the chat so that I don't look at myself 24/7. I guess wait, no, I have to watch the showcases with you, don't I? Oh God, I'm getting a Dior ad.
Okay.
Who are you?
Making messes.
Echo? Oh, because you can hear me in this. Wait, Echo how?
I probably have my mic on too high.
All right, I can see everything.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Somebody buy me a headset.
What's up, Juke?
Okay, I made a mess as soon as I started, but now we're ready.
What's up, Skizzy?
All right, so a couple of quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, how long you've been surfing, stuff like that.
Um, all right, so I'm Sam. I've been surfing since 2014, though I did take a 2-year break, so 2016, I think. Sam's camera inverted. Yeah, it usually looks like it's usually mirrored for you guys when I stream. Um, who am I? I'm the admin of KSF. I've been that since like 2020, I think, around that time. And yeah, I've been a mapper since 2017, and just throw the cat. Don't do it like over your shoulder. We've had bad experiences with that. Um, yeah, I've been mapping since 2017, and I've made a fair couple maps in my time. I might say, one might say, and I also made a Discord bot. So,
Oh god, ads. Yeah, y'all need to tell me when we get ads.
wait, did you just get ads for the? Yeah, I made the website too. Yeah. You get ads for the entire introduction. Where are you? Oh yeah, I'm from Germany, and it is 7:40 p.m. here.
All right, Juke, you missed it. Sucks to suck. There will be a re-upload, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with what is it? Neoteric was your first?
No, semester break
Ah,
was my
semester
first.
break.
Yeah, that was under my old name.
Oh, we could. Uh,
Get right into Curtis' comment, into
yeah.
Curtis' question. Yeah. Um, but you have your the list on top of the showcase video. What was the name? I don't know if I should say it on stream. I can give a bit of history on it if you want. Like why I picked that name. Because uh it's actually related to surf, or it's especially related to mapping. Because when I started out, that was like back when the forum was still a thing, and I asked around for like fixes to my map that I was working on. And then I remember I joined a public server. It was Heaven NJV. playing, and Cal and Not a Zombie were on, and I asked them like, "Hey, I have this really weird behavior with my brushes, and it doesn't work, whatever." And they were like, "Oh, you gotta make it a funk detail." And at that point, I had been like trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with it for like 3 hours. And so I told them like, "Hey, if that's really the solution to my issue, I'm gonna name myself that." And so here we are. Yeah. So that's where that name comes from. And we're listening to Tiny Desk. Let's go.
It just popped up as a
Um,
autoplay.
yeah. And I don't know, I liked the idea of having that name due to the backstory that I had. Um, Also because I was kind of like an edgy, but like insecure kid, and you know, you kind of like try to take away your like the criticism before it pops up. That's kind of what I was trying to go for at the time. And I don't know, so I just rolled with it for a while. But then like as I got more seen and as I like got more with the community, or we have Echo again, god damn it. As I got more involved with the community, I felt like I don't really want people to call me that whenever they talk to me. But yeah, this was my Neoteric was my second map, and I think Dirtman, I think it was Dirtman who asked how I come up with the names for my maps. So semester break was when I was on semester break and during my studies, and then for Neoteric, so I was adopted by Synchronize. Um, like when semester break was put on KSF, he added me on Steam and he talked to me about like mapping and I don't know, he answered like all sorts of questions. Um, and that was around the time where he made Modern. And so Neoteric is literally just like a synonym for modern. So I wanted to have a similar name because I was going for a similar vibe for detailing. So I just looked up like the Saurus or whatever you call it. Uh and I found Neoteric, and that's what I ended up with. I studied IT. I work in IT.
That's a really cool origin for that name.
I mean, it's not as cool as modern, especially with like the cool like without the vowels, but uh it fit the theme that I was going for, which is essentially just like I was so Synchronize um used the DE underscore season for modern, and he was like, hey, this is really cool, this is a really cool map, and these are really cool textures. And so I picked those as well because they were really cool. And then there was like this Mirror's Edge texture pack on Game Banana, and that's what the ramps are. It's just the bricks that you have in Mirror's Edge. And that was also Neoteric before was also that was during the time when people started obviously it was right after Modern and around the same time as Goliath. Um, and so I wanted to have like an alternative, or like I was kind of anti unit before. So I tried to come up with something unique but not difficult for my B4, and that's how we got the weird like low graph uh dodge the trees weave kind of thing.
That's
You
dope.
won't so sorry.
I
Yeah, it
think I
was I don't
skipped
know.
past that.
Yeah, no, we watch it, but it's like you
Oh, it's
goes
this one.
by quite quickly. Yeah, it's the blue ramp one.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I spent so much time like figuring out the cylinder for like what would fit the jump, and then also placing the stupid trees.
And
That was yeah.
I know someone had a question about how you come up with like themes for your maps. Like I know the quickie, quirky, those are all like similar textured.
Yes. Yeah. So, that was actually I was trying to get into Substance Designer, which is like a software, like a program that you can use to generate textures. So these textures are all made by me. It was just like four textures. So I knew besides like metal grade 013A, which is something I use in every single map of mine, but like the other ones are all made by me. And this was around the time where I was really burned out from making Neoteric because I had like this I was so like insecure and edgy as someone getting into the scene, and and I wanted to keep raising the quality to prove myself. Uh, but then I got burned out, and then I decided that I was like I started like three different projects before I decided, all right, I'm just gonna give myself a week and I'm gonna make a map in that week, and then I'm gonna release it at the end of the week, and that's how the name Quickie and how the map ended up being created.
Dope.
And now it is not a Photoshop effect. Yeah, it's just a type of noise. Uh, and the cells that are generated, they have different heights, so you can color them based on the height they have. That's what I did in Substance Designer.
That sounds like Perlin noise.
It is just a different way to generate noise, yeah. Yeah, I imagine that Photoshop has an effect like this. Are we already going to move into progress after this? I feel like we're going to move into progress. I actually don't remember my own like discography, if you can call it that. And so, regarding the question of like what my theme. Oh, we have. Oh God,
We have
what's the
Paper
next one?
Town and Not
Oh, we
So
have
Quick.
Paper Town. Goddamn. All right. For the themes, I guess it was mostly just like my influences. Like obviously Synchronize is like my biggest influence next to Juxtapo, and those were the like two people that uh wait, you didn't know that I made Paper Tone? That's crazy. Um those were the two people that I was like involved with at the time. And so those are like kind of the biggest factor of like the maps that I wanted to recreate. Uh, and then Quickie was just me messing around with Substance Designer. Paper Town was it's a town like Conil. It's a Spanish town that it's in the very south of Spain that I used to visit a lot as a kid, which has these like white houses. And and I wanted to have something like that, and I'll give like low poly a try. So that's why I made this map. So that's where that influence came from. Oh, I also got shout out to Quaternius Def, which I was following on Twitter at the time, and they made like an asset pack, which is that like all the models you see, like all the hearts and the clouds and the hot air balloon. Those are all Quaternius Def models. and I wanted to incorporate those because I was always a fan of low poly and like indie development games, stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks really beautiful.
It was a it was horrible to make. I saw like someone, I think I Am Superman or no, Puffin. I think Puffin asked which map gave me the most struggle. It's got to be either this or Progress. Because this I did not know. So, uh, what you saw, can you pause real quick because I can't I can't watch and then keep up and focus on stuff at the same time. So what you saw before Sacred's bonus, um, where the or no, it was for before extra's bonus or Dizzy's bonus nowadays. So these were like B1 to B3 were collectibles. So like spread around the map, you had like tricks, sort of tricks that you needed to do in order to collect like the coins and the hearts and the little lightning bolts. And it was all part of the main map. But back then, I didn't know about what is called a Nexus system. So a Nexus system is just that it uh like the trigger teleports you to one location, and then based on your uh wait, no, what was it? Uh Oh yeah, and then based on your like current zone that you're in like I don't want to get too mapping term specific. It places you back into the correct spot. I didn't know about that at the time, so what I did instead is it's like 13 different zones sort of in that main map. So I actually did 13 versions of all my triggers. Uh, so it's like literally 13 times the same triggers in the same map, and I had to work with that. Uh, yeah. It was horrible to work with.
That's
And this was
so
also
funny.
yeah, it was also so this was also the first time I started interacting with like the optimization part of Hammer because I made an open zone and it took like 13 hours to compile the first time before I like learned like the start of optimization. And then I had like a whole bunch of drama with Crash for it because he was of a different opinion than me and we yeah uh, there was a lot of drama back then. It's crazy. Um, there's so much to talk about just with just this one map because this was the first map that I did as Sam instead of my old name. This is also this map features a sacred bonus, which like me as a German and Sacred as a German, we had a channel for Germans, which was pretty active at the time, which is also where I got to know Spy Complex and Crealington and other people. Um, let's just move on to the KSF phone app, please. That's not me. I don't work. I don't do the KSF app. That's Hisuka, not me. Um, and that German channel was where Sacred was most active at the time. And so I kind of bullied him into giving me a bonus when he said that he was never gonna touch mapping again. And I feel like that was like ultimately what led him back to Hammer again. So I take credit for everything that he's done since then, even though Morbid 2 wasn't really received well, I guess. And also, the third big part of this map, sorry, I'm monologuing like crazy, but when I made the map and when I had the idea of the collectibles, I posted like I created a server, a Discord server, and I I uh posted in like KSF Discord and I posted in Tricksurf Discord of like, hey, I'm making this map and it's open world kind of, and I want to create tricks, and if you have like if you want you can join and we can think of like stuff we can do together. And that's actually what ended up becoming like my sub community, which is FHH, which stands for Fields Happy Hug. It's the hugging Pepe emote that is in the KSF Discord, because we were all kind of like nice people trying to be friendly to each other. So that's it's also where Surf Happy Hug comes from, that community, and it's like like literally the reason why I'm still going in KSF is because I have those people, and that's where that started.
Super
Okay,
cool
now
lore.
I've done all the lore from just this map. Sorry.
Secret bonus.
Yeah, it was sacred bonus.
But you had to find it? You didn't just teleport into it?
No, it was more like, hey, this is a kind of a big deal. Sacred's touching mapping again, and it's even got like Elysium textures in it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Hardex. Sorry, I forgot to mute again.
shit's rough when you don't have a headset.
Yeah, I broke my headset a couple months ago.
Oh, it sucks. Oh, where's your like stream donation goal? Just get the people to pay for it. Otherwise, they have to struggle through it. Dude, people are still posting questions left and right. Um, before it gets washed away, there was someone was weird surf. I think I've seen them in the mapping channel. Any tips for someone who wants to try mapping? I think we'll get to that later, right? Like
Yeah, we'll probably
the
do mapping
right.
questions after map questions.
Alright, okay. Why is there a bonus on Morbid 2 impossible? There's no B up when you come back down. Oh, I think it's a ping issue. So just get a private server.
What's up with this username?
Uh oh, that's the WR, the guy who surfed it at the time.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not me. Yeah, there's a showcase for Not So Quick, I think. I'm pretty sure. Uh oh, is this Surf Cinema?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
As the
didn't see a
surf blocked.
normal showcase, so I used this one.
Right. Wait, but there's definitely one. I think it's by Wayne. Yeah, System had like was like the WRB goat at the time. Here, I'll link it to you. Where the fuck is it? Wayne? Didn't I'm pretty. Oh, there it is. I found it. Uh, uh, and message. There you go.
Thank you.
Has the surf block topic been touched? No. Well, it has, and then we decided, and then we stopped touching it, I guess.
Um,
Oh,
so
I
what
didn't know there was like a whole thing.
were you
Yes,
always
sorry.
planning on making Quick into a series, or how did
No,
that wind up?
no, it was just like like at least half of my math are just these. Oh, I don't want to get like a huge project out, so I'll do a quickie project. Like I don't know if Spy is here yet, but he's like he's a testament to he knows very well that whenever people ask me like, oh, how should I do that? Mental block. I don't know what to do in mapping. yeah, I always tell them do a quickie project. Like give yourself time constraints. If you give yourself some other constraint, and then just like actually stick to it and like get it out after a week. And so like this is half of what I always do. Like I did quickie, I did not so quick. I think quirky, I was kind of more lenient with myself, and I knew I was gonna get it out. But in times where I was like unsure whether or not I was gonna get like a big map, a big project out, I started doing like slop and slop 2 and slobs, stuff like that. Just because those projects end up being like just as fun for some other surfers, maybe not the same that I wanted to address originally. Um, but I'm a huge fan of those like time projects. So that's why I was at a point where I made Paper Town, I was burned out again. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to do something different. So I made it not so quick. What's up, Ram?
So that means we're gonna have you in the surf gathering.
Uh, I I I thought about it, but I started working full time in February, and oh no, like I'm engaged now. I have 2 cats. I have a household. I have a bunch of shit to do, and I also have like other stuff that I want to do for the surf community. So I don't really get to map at all right now. Like I'm thinking, I'm playing with the idea, especially now that I know that surf has it's been almost a year since I released Surf Race, which was my last map, and I I want to make more maps because it's like my favorite hobby. So I just don't have the time for it. I've been saying though, if someone manages to get me to like if I can be paid full time to work to work on Surf, like both on the game mode, in terms of API and plugin stuff like that, as well as like the website and the Discord bot and the mapping. Uh, yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat, but that's just a pipe dream. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking about making the joke Surf racist. Uh, Also, thank you, Daxon. Oh, it's no longer like specific time. That's I might participate then, but I already have like 2 or 3 bonuses lined up that I should be making, but I'm not. So also, this map was the first time that I started playing with arches. Uh, like, or I guess on Near Tarek I also did that, but I was just I feel like I never understood why so many mappers focused on like blocky detailing when surf is obviously smooth, and so you want to have smooth environments to match that. So everything that you move past is kind of curved and no rough edges. It's kind of
I
I
never
think.
even noticed that. That's such a good detail.
Yeah, it's just like square room hater. Yeah. Also, thank you to the people who said that the website is good. I need to fix some shit with it, but oh, this is also the first time that or I guess Neoteric Stage 4 was the first time I did the up ramp, uh, which is where you come in from below and it's kind of uh, weird difficulty that people didn't understand at the time that I made these things. And so, like, that stage and Neoteric Stage 4 feels impossible to many people, or felt impossible at the time.
Up ramps give me a lot of trouble too.
Wait, Dirtman, aren't you the one who hated on the name Up Up because it reminded you of Uppies? But yeah, I coined that term and I'm gonna run.
I'm only calling them uppies from now on.
No, please don't do that. Next map name. Well, if you include a bunch of Up Up Rams, then I'm fine with it. But is the
Surf
yeah,
uppies
I
coming
haven't.
soon.
Wait, are you gonna have Surf Downies afterwards though? No.
While we're waiting for ads,
Yes.
you mentioned when you started mapping, how long were you surfing before that?
Uh, so I officially started in 2014. Um, but then I stopped for 2 years, and it didn't take me long. Like, oh yeah, you haven't muted again. Um, it didn't take me long when I started back up. It was 2016 I started back, and then 2017 I released my first map. It's kind of like so I was in 2016 I was like I actually have a sort of sad-ish, well, not really sad, but I do have a bit of backstory when it comes to that because 2016 I was like a stoner kid, and but then I got I got picked up by the cops, and I had to do like random drug tests, so I was like this like smart ADHD cringe edgy kid at the time. And I was surfing because it's like, oh, it's the haha we thing to do. It's the game that fits the best. But then when I got caught by the cops and I had to do drug tests, I couldn't smoke anymore. And I was always really, really interested in everything related to game development or like coding in general and level design as well. Like literally every like I would mod I would try to mod like Minecraft, and fucking in 2010 I was playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and like building maps in that level editor myself, or like Roster Tycoon. Like I was always in love with generating like making content myself, but I never had the like plan to stick at longer projects. I always had like the big vision, but then I could just the classic. And then when I couldn't smoke anymore, that was like the time where I needed something else to focus. And the thing that I did was like, hey, I have like I have mental clarity now that, and everything sucks anyway, so I might as well sit down, and even if it's not fun right now, I'll just keep working on this project because if I can work on this project and finish it, I'll prove to myself that I'm not a failure. So that's kind of like that was actually like the mental state that I was in when I made semester break. And then I got that map out, and even though it was not that good, it was like it was a crazy experience for me to go from never being able to like finish it to uh like putting, I don't know, like probably put like 50 hours into that map, which isn't that much compared to other maps and other mappers, but it was like a lot for me. And then I just got hooked. And I feel like I kind of replaced that addiction for a while, because then I didn't take me long until Neoterra came out and Paper Town came out and Quickie came out, whatever. And but that's kind of like where all of that started.
So many origin stories.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the scene for a while. I have my fair share of drama where I was involved. I've probably written way too many Discord messages and made a couple friends, made a couple enemies. Funny that it's showing draft right now or Zaspu nowadays. But that's not really related to me as a mapper. Who's your favorite enemy and why is it Inova? Inova is not my favorite enemy at all. I hated like having beef with Inova. I absolutely despised it. My favorite enemy is Spy Complex, and that's on God. Uh, what was the Inova beef? I do not want to talk about it. Do you think it's
Good
inevitable
answer.
as a community figurehead to make some enemies? Yes. Like as an admin, as a moderator, you have to step on toes all the fucking time. You have to make decisions like when we disallowed spin drops and fucking made some enemies and when I don't know, we like when we got Sinky banned, I made enemies. Like you always make some people happy, some people unhappy. Oh, this is Surf Nestquake is a collab that I oh is that's after Progress, isn't
Yeah, I'm just grabbing that now.
Oh yeah, Surf Progress is it's the other contender for map that gave me the most issues. Um, because that was the KZG, the Killzone Gaming map that Dizzy and I made. It was for a mapping contest, and yeah, it was so bad. We like we competed against Mr. Cow with Cyberwave and Ferrix with Surf Whiteout. It was insane as a contest to have like to even get Ferrix and Mr. Cow to make maps for it was crazy. And we like it was so bad. I had like an internship, mandatory internship during my studies. And so I was working full time and Dizzy was going through things at the time and like uh the contest was extended and we struggled so much to work on the fucking map. Like it was crazy. It was like I think like the last 2 weeks was I would wake up, I would read like the messages Dizzy sent me. And yeah, and I would go to work and I would like she would be at work on the map and I would be in contact with her instead of working. And she would work on the VMF till she went to sleep. And then she would pass the VMF to me, and I would get home from work and work on it. And she would wake up, and we would talk about it and what to change and what to adjust until I got to go to sleep. And then I would just pass it back, and she would work on it again. I was doing like 16 hours, uh, like work uh, and mapping combined. And then so we had like huge issues compiling the map at the end. Dizzy, this is my interview. You're taking away my answers. um, we had like huge issues compiling the map because we would compile it and then some triggers just would just stop working randomly, and we were so burned out at the time, and like we tried to get it to work because back then you couldn't hand the map in afterwards. Uh, and we actually like we handed in the final 40 seconds before the deadline. It was crazy. And then like I remember that Dizzy just cried. Oh, I remade that ramp I think like 5 times uh at the time. Um I think Dizzy just cried and went to bed, and I had to go to work, but I was like so like I had nothing in my brain for like an entire day because I was so burned out. Um, but yeah, that's like the story of Surf Forest. We have like it was meant to be this entire tutorial, which is why we have the uh you have these sections that teach you different things, and we have the tablets that like give you introductory texts, and then at the end you have like the final test where you get to do like all that we previously tried to teach you. And then there's also the alternative route because we didn't just want to make a low tier map, which is boring for a bunch of pro surfers. Um, and yeah, so we asked Sacred, and the KSF timer allows for like skipping stages. So the fast stage one, and then stage four for the alternative. And I'm really proud of how like um everything lines up really well. I mean, we do have the RNG fix bump into this like first slant to the alternative route that people use. Um, yeah, people always ask why they're missing a stage on Surf Progress. Um, but no, everything lines up surprisingly well. Both like the fast route for runs, and we also made sure to have fast routes for the stages individually. So stage two and three are made of multiple sections, and we still managed to get like good fast routes in there. So and like the fact that we won against Mr. Cow, even though the map is like infinitely more play than progress, was really cool. Uh, I'm very proud of that. And it's like this is like the time where Dizzy and I, yeah, we got second, but we won against Mr. Cow. We lost against Ferrix. Um, it was just really cool uh of an experience, and it like solidified me and Dizzy as like best friends for years, and we would just like everything mapping related and also personal we would share for years. And I would not be where I am today without Dizzy. Smiley face.
Dizzy hype.
Yeah, and Dizzy needs to be next. It's like people cannot underestimate how impactful Dizzy has been, like both uh like publicly as well as behind the scenes of the surf community. Yeah, Whiteout and Cyberwave are both really, really good maps.
So you said that the Happy Hug series was from like a sub community that you were a part of?
Yeah, yeah. So, like back when I joined KSF and when I started being active, the community was still like it was a bunch of like fragile masculinity teenagers who like would drag each other down because they were insecure about themselves, and it was I don't know, like if you were good at surf, you were allowed to be toxic to others. Like that was the whole like Sinky era. And I don't know, people were just having fun being insensitive and being toxic, which I don't know, like you do you, but it was getting tiring. And so when I made the Discord for Paper Town, I kept that community around. And whenever I saw people that were like nice and wholesome and I don't know, friendly, I would invite them to the server. We had some hiccups here and there, but it ended up being this community, like this group of friends uh who who were like aiming to be just nice to each other. And we have this rule that you need to, or you should, you're not forced to, but it's encouraged to set your nickname to your real name. And if you want, you can post like a picture of yourself in the IRL channel. And because it was just like I hated the just anonymous and like dunking quote unquote other people who they didn't know or care about. Like I wanted people to actually care about. So that's what the community was. And yeah, have I don't know how we managed to do it. And we tried again after Happy Hour, but we could never get another collab going. But we actually managed to get like 16 stages out for this collab, which was huge. Um, do you think the community for Surf has improved over the years? Oh yeah, definitely. Like massively. Like I a bunch of like people who are around today would not have survived back then. Which might be rough to say, but like it's true. Like um I don't know, nowadays I'm someone who's too rough to people now, like every now and then, especially like new mappers when I'm like too blunt and uh yeah, they get offended and I don't realize what I'm doing wrong because I'm just so much worse than that. I don't know, like if you really want to torture yourself, go like to shut up, Blink. Um if you really want to torture yourself, try to read through the KSF forum, like the random threads where people were just talking. Like, try to look at how they were talking to each other. It's actually horrible. And yeah, don't look at Jabra. Uh, you don't want to do that. But yeah, it's just we were just kids having fun, and I really love that we managed to create that sort of atmosphere. And those are like people who I'm still really good friends with nowadays. Like despite most of us no longer surfing. And like for example, Spy, I've met IRL and I want to meet Louis and I want to meet Dizzy. Look at what our bullying did to Puff. True. um like those are really good friends of mine and I look fondly back to that time. Oh yeah, I was on a break for a sale, wasn't I? The sale is a banger map, so I couldn't. I probably would have encouraged you to keep going. Stage makes me angry. Yeah.
I Yeah, I think the from what I've heard, I think the surf community has definitely improved. Like
Yeah.
I've only been around like 4 or 5 years, but like the community is why I'm here.
Hmm.
Like surf is fun, but I'm here for all the people, all the friends that I've made while surfing.
Yeah. It's kind of sad that we have like less public community interactions now that we have private servers, but uh, like because you don't get to talk to random people anymore, unless you want to sit on the beginner server, which is a form of torture in and by itself. Um, but yeah, the community is definitely what keeps me going as well. Blame Boo? Yeah, I do. Don't worry. Like I don't know if Momentum had been around from the very start and had been live. I don't think like I know they're planning to have like these sort of public servers, I think. And they definitely need to because without them I don't think I would have been all that invested in Surf past like maybe like a couple of years.
Agreed.
Mm,
Um,
wait, Hardix, that was a trash can one, wasn't it? I remember that. I'd completely erased that from my brain. Yeah.
Now on to Surf Nesquik.
Oh hell yeah.
This one has a
So
totally different vibe than all of the other maps.
yeah, this was so you probably don't know Sandman. Not Surf Sandman, but the cash cow Sandman. It was literally an oil uh prince. I don't fucking know, but um he commissioned a map from me and Hisuka, and uh I fucking like Hisuka is a really really great person, and he was also part of the FHH community. Sorry, I'm turning on a light. Um, there you go. Does that change anything? I don't know. Um, but yeah, I wanted to make a map with Hisuka, and I think this was after he'd made Sonata. Um, and he obviously has a similar style of smooth surf, like me, and it was really fun working. And to answer Curtis' question, no, this was not Neoteric or Solace themed. It was this from the very start. And the reason why I called it Nesquik and why I picked the theme was that so when I dropped Not So Quick, I would start calling it like NSQ, and so that just evolved into Nesquik. So people started making jokes about calling it Nesquik, and so I made Surf Nesquik,
Just so
or
they
we
couldn't
made Surf
call it
Nesquik.
that.
No, just because I don't know, it felt fun to have like this to kind of like bastardize the name uh Quickie. Like, oh, what's the next quick map in the series? Yeah, it's Nesquik. Haha.
That's funny.
Yeah, and obviously Hisuka went on to make Inokia, which is like in terms of like cohesion and theme execution is one of my favorite maps. And I know that he's very busy nowadays. I keep like bullying him to make a Nokia 2. I know that people really want that. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll make it happen eventually. I know that Dirtman was probably wet his pens. He's probably wetting his pants right now. Oh, this is also surprisingly the first synchronized bonus that I had on my map, even though we'd been talking um for years at that point. Oh yeah, and I would always like invite random people to give Hammer a try. Yeah, with I think his name is Androsken. I don't know. I think he's definitely not English, so I'm just gonna call the name that. I just encouraged him to. Oh yeah, this is sorry. I know that when by the time you hear this, you're way past that point in the video, but the before the low graph bonus, it was the continuation of the bonus. It was another anti work, and it turned out pretty cool, I think. Like with the whole pipes that you like head serve and go past. I had a lot of fun with it.
I've never seen that bonus. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, and then we also have the like one of the I think most like well received spy complex bonuses with the like his first interaction with like the I don't know tube thingies. I don't know.
Yeah, Spy's definitely on my list.
Can't be about myself in my own goddamn interview. It's always about Spy. Dude, I had such a rivalry with Spy. I was always so jealous of how like Spy had like this following and people would act like he can do no bad. Uh but like that's bullshit. Like he gets so much hate for his shit outside of his fan base. Um Unraveled fucking sucks. That's true. I supported him when he made Unraveled, so
I like
partially
that
my
map.
fault. Yeah, he's just not a detailer, or at least not a model-based detailer, I guess. I actually don't know what came after that.
I
Oh,
think
was it Slaw?
Quarantine.
Oh yeah, Quarantine, right? Yeah, that was, but like we don't have to really do that if you want. Like, both Quarantine and the internet, just like funny operations, and yeah, when COVID hit and we just wanted to mess around and have something to focus on. Also, there's porn on Quarantine, so I don't know if you want to put that on stream.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, what Dirtman just said. On my stage, true. I think after that is it actually Slob? Oh yeah,
Solus.
don't is it really? What the hell? Okay, so any comment on the hidden room on sewers? No. It's just uh touch grass. I don't know what else to say. All right, hit me with the Solace video. Solace was like I feel like I was kind of thinking about it as a magnum opus at the time because like I was looking at 666 and Stonework 4 and I was like, I'm friends with these mappers. Like, I'm friends with Juxapo, and I'm friends with Mr. Cow, and like, they've been huge inspirations for me, and like also competitors for me. And I wanted to have something like that. I wanted to have like this long-ish unit surf map that people fawn over and don't just accept as some map, but like as like, wow, this is a really cool map. And um I felt like I definitely had the skills for it, and I also had like the oh, I'm getting added. I'm getting added. Um Felt like I'm all right, do you wanna chill during the break?
Yeah, we can take a
It's
quick
only a
break.
minute.
Yeah. I think
Where
you really accomplished your goal with making this your magnum
hmm
opus. Like, looking at the playtime, this is your most played map
yeah.
by a bit. Like, the
I mean, Race
closest
is getting there.
race has a third of the playtime, but it is new.
Oh, well, in terms of so there's two different types of playtime. Um, One is the time limit that you playtime is partly because of the WR contest. No, not really. Um, One is the time limit. So when you extend a map, just 10 minutes gets added to that time. Which is what like most played and other commands are based on. But then the other one is play time. So the time you actually spend in the zone. And when it comes to that, the race is starting to really catch up to Solace. So, but
Okay, okay.
the low tier maps are just absolutely crazy when when you look at playtime. All right, I think ads over. Um, Playtime is partly because of the WR
Oh, look at
contest.
you.
No. What?
Congrats. Surf rate. Kurt just got us the details.
Wait, has it actually passed it? That's crazy. God damn. Yeah, well, I mean, it just goes to show that I did what I tried to accomplish with the map, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so Surf Solace was like really my the map where I was like, all right, I have a whole bunch of energy. I need to get this out of my system. I want to be creative, and I want to have like a staple map similar to 666 and Stonework. And I had learned a whole lot since Neoteric, but it was still like the style or like the theme that I wanted to revisit the most. And so that's what I did. I like fleshed it out more. And I think like the biggest change regarding like what differs the most from Neoteric to Solace, besides the fact that I use cube maps and so everything nice and slippery, is that I actually started aligning my textures and fitting my texture properly because uh like there's a crazy amount of work that went into aligning textures on the map, and there you can do so much with that when you have tile textures and you actually fit them properly, that they have some like they like a tiled texture once like has it has like a context. It has like a it has like a context. Like the textures on the walls, those are like metal plates, And so you can't just slap them on without consideration what the context is. If you like embrace that and work with that, it looks infinitely better. So that's what I did for the map.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, I feel like that's like I wasn't so worried about things not lining up like from tile to tile anymore because that's not how it works in real life either. It is really frustrating to reply to Otter when they don't fit the geometry, but then like you can think about whether or not you might change the geometry to fit the tiles because that's the like context of the textures. This was also the time where I was like friends with Murky. It's kind of like sad to see it nowadays because like B1 I made in a call with Murky and Telly and it was a really good time. Oh, it also has the Mesa plus use bonus which was huge. This was before we had VScript, which like nowadays you can do a bunch of cool shit. Back then we had to. He came up with this idea of abusing plus use, which is used to press buttons in the air and like trigger some effect, which in this case was like the up and down, like alternating up and down boost.
Oh, not this bonus, the one before.
Yeah. Bathroom meppers RLRS. Dude, I get so angry when I see bathroom tiles not aligned properly. Also, I think this is like the nicest, like the most lenient and smooth spy complex bonus we have, B3. Is he a map author? I am a map author, yes. I made this. Actually, Mesog made this.
Yeah, he's made like two maps.
Yeah.
Pika.
What is his name? My name's Sam. Oh, this was also really like um it was crazy that I got a KSFRAC upload. This was um before they started posting like contest maps showcases on KSF Records and like I think the map before Solace that got a showcase on KSF Records was Valpect, I think. So it's been quite a while, and it was like this huge like staple to have it on there. But I just bullied Nyasel into. Dude, my cheeks get so flushed when I'm warm. The photos of cats, yes. The cat is called Benjin, by the way. Oh, and this was another quickie project. Um, like after Solace, I was like, oh, I don't want to make another. I don't want to like my I started surfing a lot more active again, and I was like farming like uh I was like farming Surf Fruits top or Surf Fruits 2, I think, stuff like that. And I was like really enjoying these like old school stages. And I was just trying to mess around with it and make something that's not perfectly like everything is perfectly aligned and shit. So I just wanted to have fun. And like I know that people don't really like the Slob series, or at least a lot of people don't really like it, but I personally love it because it just represents a lot of like creative freedom and fun that I had with the hobby that I'd been like doing for thousands of hours at that point. And I was like I was like considering whether or not I'm gonna keep going. But then I don't know, I just stopped caring about what other people wanted from me, which was always something that I was hunting. Um, I just banged it out.
Yeah, I love that. I love that not only are like the themes different in your different kind of series of maps, but like the surf and the ideas that went into the design of
Yeah.
them are different. Like this one really did embody like that old school, like not knowing what you were doing with textures, short, like techie ramps. It was very good.
Thank you. Yeah, it was just, it was, I don't know, I was having fun with it again, and um I was like I was spending a lot of time thinking um thinking about, oh, there's Slob 2 with featuring Kai or Dorito before Slobs. Um yeah, that, sorry, that was my mic stand arm thingy. Um but I was thinking a lot about like, oh, what makes like uh old maps so good? Like what is something that people um enjoy about old maps? And it was a lot less polished back then. Like people also just had fun with Hammer, and they didn't have the units to make the skip perfectly work. They just, like, a lot of stuff was made possible because people were so bad that they didn't consider the fact that you could do it. And so I was just like banging out stages and on Surf Swap, and then I yeah, they didn't have safe log either. That's right. And they had like high sense, and they used 210 yaw, and everything was like a lot less smooth. Um and so I just got Surf Slob out, and then Kai, or A Dorito, which is a good friend of mine, he wanted to make a map, and I told him like, hey, we can, like, I had just gotten done with Sir Slob, and I was like, hey, we can do another one if you want. He was like, yeah, sure. And then we just had another week where we each made like 3 stages or so, and then like 2 weeks after Surf Slop got out, we got Surf Slop 2 out, because like the textures, you can, like, it takes like 30 seconds to texture a stage and put like lights in it and trigger crazy, but it was fun, and that's how I that's like my relationship to those maps. Some people like them, some people don't. I don't really care. I like the maps, and I had a lot of fun making, which is something insanely valuable for mappers to have, to actually have fun with the content, that, like, making the content. You can always tell uh you can always tell when mappers don't enjoy making maps or surfing their own maps. It's crazy to me when people don't grind or like try to find good times on their own map, because like it shows that, like, why would anyone else do it? And that's kind of what I try to embody in the past years, having quote unquote done it all.
There was a question about that porn bonus. or stage, and whether or not you or KSF as an organization had thought about like banning sensitive stuff like that from maps in the future.
Um, well, I guess it depends on how like in your face it is. Like obviously we don't want like straight up sensitive stuff in the map so that you can see it when like people upload a showcase video or um if it's like a secret room, I don't really care. Like I'm not gonna go into that secret room. Yeah, and that's pretty much my entire opinion. Like if you wanna put porn images into your maps, like okay. It's kind of weird, but uh that's about it. I don't know if I like I'm not gonna go in there and like judge whether or not it's like acceptable content, like acceptable degenerate content. I haven't it hasn't come up in recent years that people did that kind of stuff. So it's not something that I've cared to consider.
Vita asked if you've thought about doing Solus 2 or not so Solus.
Right. I have I'm definitely not doing two. Also I think you need to mute yourself. I think I see the fact that you have. Yes, okay. Um I'm definitely not doing Solace 2 because I'm not really interested in making like tier 6 surf. Um I do want to make quote unquote not so solid, which is just like that theme put on a low tier map. Um, because I don't know if I feel like it's gonna fit it, and I'm kind of in the uh context that I want to have a staple map. Like now I see Synchronize, Boreas, or however the fuck you pronounce it, and like Mr. Cow with Cyberwave and Whiteout. Like sure I've raced, but like I also want to have like smooth tier map that I can claim my own. And no, I don't have a don't have a good name for it, which is awful because Solace is like my favorite for a map that I'd ever come up with, and I feel like the low tier version also to have a good name. Yeah, it's Soulless. Nice, good one. Um, yeah, I don't know. I do want to make it. I have a billion other projects in my brain that I also want to make. So it's but I'm starting to feel the itch um to map because like I said hasn't been hasn't haven't released anything in a year and as Dizzy will tell you, you need that one map. It's mandatory.
We had a question here from Jazz who hasn't been able to make it or can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite or least favorite and least favorite like map, stage, ramp, like any of those?
Um, my least favorite ramp is definitely the that one ramp on Surf Progress where I mentioned that I remade it like 5 times within the time frame and it kept bugging out on me. It's not because it's like a horrible, or it is a horrible ramp. It was horrible to make and it was horrible to align the textures. Buggy and it sucks. Also, the second ramp, right side on Solus stage 5, keeps bugging out if you go too low on it. And I remade it 3 times and it still does that, and I cannot understand why. And I don't know favorite ramp, favorite stage. I do kind of like the looks exactly like the corny loser that he comes off at. That is true. I do. Um, I feel like as a stage, there's one stage on slobs where you boost into like a half pipe sort of thing, and that was definitely one of the favorite stages of mine that I had made at the time. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
All right, we have quirky.
Oh, Quirky, right. Yeah, Quirky was also um I wanted to have another Quickie map, obviously, as you can see by the textures. But I also like the reason was because I wanted to uh play with optional boosters as an idea. So the rings that you go through, there are these smaller rings. Choose to hit them if you want to, and they give you speed boost. And I think it's a really cool idea. I think it's something that could be used a lot more in surf because like nowadays we have a lot of like difficult stuff and like it's always opinionated. Like you have bad players that can do hard maps and like good players that don't really want to play easy maps, and you just give players more options by adding optional content like alternative routes and optional boosts and I don't know, that kind of thing. It's I was really hoping that with the speed mapping contest we're gonna see more of that, but sadly we didn't. We just got a lot of arch head surf, which is quite sad.
I
You got
did
Lions
notice
though?
like almost everybody had an arched head serve.
Yeah. It's Hardex's fault.
Yeah, I do really like you can tell that this has the same skin, like same textures, but it has a very different like vibe in terms of like the way it surfs because of all those boosts, and it's much more like
Yeah.
smooth and Unity,
Yeah.
or not even Unity, but just like,
Like
the
I
longer
was
ramps.
yeah, I was having fun with the idea of giving like difficulty due to speed and nothing else. It's kind of like what Ambient does with the like high speed easy surf that you have to through. I wanted to replicate that, and I think I did. Do you get paid for your admin role? Like I've gotten some like uh I guess it's pay packages, I don't know, over the years. When I was like Untouched bought me a new dishwasher when mine broke down. I didn't have money to get my own. That's that's I guess you could call that pay, but other than that, no.
That's so funny. There was a question from Spy about what made you actually pick up Owner after Sacred. It's a lot of work that goes unappreciated.
Um, hmm. Well, as I said, I was friends with Sacred, and um, I was seeing how much it affected him because he's still sometimes he's a bit rough around the edges, but like he used to be a whole lot worse. Like he would be very abrasive towards people who didn't know him, and you would shut down people who had an opinion and stuff like that because he had to do that shit like for 6 years during the worst phase of the community. And I don't know, I think I'm kind of drawn to moderation moderator activities without ethics. And so uh, I made the Discord bot because I was a coding kid and KSF had like had like the data and I wanted to get into stuff for the community. And so I made the Discord bot and then I kind of started getting into contact with Untouch, or I guess it was before that as well. And I started doing stuff behind the scenes. I kept bullying Sacred and Untouch to help me zone maps because I realized um, that they needed help with it or that they could use help with it. And then when I got like to be an owner, originally it was made like I was made to be in addition to Sacred, so he didn't have to carry that burden, quote unquote, by himself. And but then, like he realized that he could kind of like step back and relax a little, and then he just kind of disappeared slowly, which I really don't blame him for because, like I said, it was horrible, like that community for 6 years straight, and everyone like at the time people fucking hated Sacred because he was so like no bullshit. Don't ping me. I don't know. Don't talk shit to me. But it was the only way that like he could manage the community because they were all like toxic shitheads. And so that's how I got to be owner. And that was also like when I stopped being in the community for 2 years. I like sort of handed in my 2 weeks because I kind of ended up in a similar position where I was taking care of everything by myself, and there was like no above me to take responsibility. And I care deeply. I've always cared deeply about the surf community. It's just like it's just sort of my baby because especially now that I can do deaf stuff, it's the domain where I know pretty much everything that's happening and I know what people like. Um um and I love the game mode. I love the people in it. Well, most of the people in it. Um and I wanted it to flourish. Like I wanted to nourish it. I wanted to do cool events, people that I like and make content and have a good time. But then I ended up in the similar, and it was during the like pandemic, and right around that time, I was like underweight. I was like 63 kilograms, and I started having panic attacks, and I was really not a good situation. And I went to therapy. I got that jazz. Uh I don't know. I was not in a good spot, and so I there was a situation where people were like dunking on me left and right. I like people asked me was so worked up, and I wrote like a big paragraph. And while I was writing the paragraph, I already saw people like, oh, typing out a paragraph and not gonna care. And then when I sent the paragraph explaining why I was so like worked up about something, like people immediately went on to spam like gifs of like, oh, not gonna read that, haha. And that was kind of like the last straw where I was like, all right, this is not healthy for me as an individual. And like it breaks my heart, but I cannot burn myself. Oh, and we're getting added. Yay. It's an ad coming in.
Ad break.
Uh yeah, it was just a shit time. And but I feel like looking back on it, um like everyone was kind of in a shit place at the time. It was like it was COVID, everyone was stuck inside and people were scared. And uh I don't know, it was but like I just didn't have the mental strength to to ignore all the people who say shit about me. And it's always like um yeah, it wasn't just COVID, that is true. um it's crazy that people always say like oh I just said one thing and I just mentioned this thing once, but like when you're in that position, like you have fucking 20 people a day uh saying something once, and so like you get to hear it like 20 a day every single day. Like I would wake up every single day with like Discord notifications of people starting shit and like being mean and like acting like they don't care, but also at the same time you're the worst person ever and you're killing KSF and you're an SJW, shit like that. um and I don't know. I felt like I'd forgotten that I could step back and that I didn't need to uh, be uh like in the gun, like in the crossfire all the time. So I did step back. I made Untouch and the others realize that they needed to like diversify more in terms of owners. They needed to have different people pick up different responsibilities, and they did. And in the meantime, I got therapy. I got antidepressants. I learned to like I finished my studies. I got a job. Uh Oh no, like COVID obviously stopped, and then we didn't have Trump for the time, yay. And I just grew up as an adult, started being more detached from the opinion of random strangers on the internet, which works better or worse every other day. Like some days I get sucked into that same rabbit hole of like why can't this person just understand that I'm doing what I'm doing for the good of like what I consider to be the good of the community. uh yeah, so that's how I started and stopped and then started back again as an admin. And I the before anyone asked, the reason why I came back is just because I don't know, I can't not um I can't not interact with the surf community. It's just like I said, it's my baby. uh it's and I'm in a very unique position that I can do a lot of cool things like mapping contests and surf journeys, and I recently started a plugin, and I work on the API and the Discord bot and the website and shit like that. Like I can do all of these things and I want to do them. Like I want to do as much cool things as are possible uh, before inevitably it dies because people no longer care about it.
Before we
Yes, I. Sorry.
before we get too bogged into KSF management and
Yes.
mapping, let's check out your last full map that has apparently just beaten Solus for playtime.
Yeah, this was so don't forget to mute. Um it was I I just saw you aggressively punch the mic. Um I made the API call to get like so I started playing around with the API more and get the data from the database and made new Discord commands shit like that. And I played around with the playtime, which is the like what I explained earlier, the actual playtime. And then I saw that I was like top 15 or something, and I was like, hey, I wanna climb those ranks because I want to be like in the top 10 of most playtime that mappers have accumulated over the years. And so I was like, hey, what's a good way to farm playtime? And it's like, oh, Surf Ace is like a good way to farm playtime. So I made my VMF and I called it Project Playtime Farm. And later on, I called it Surf Race because like obviously it's Surf Ace and the play on that. And I really wanted to get it because he's the creator of Surf Ace, but he was on vacation at the time, and I wanted to get it out, so that didn't happen. Um, but yeah, it was me. Like I wanted to have like a linear map all this time. I guess I have progress. But people keep fucking thinking that it's like Dizzy made that by herself, so I needed to have my name on the stage linear. It's kind of sad that the W bad, like coming into last stage. I really wish that the that I intended was gonna be the one that people use, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, and then I had the B1, which I just wanted to, um, I just wanted to make fun of the like neon, kitsune vibe that people, um, wait, I haven't passed. No, yeah, I haven't passed Ferrix yet. I'm working towards beating Ferrix and Dizzy, and then I need Arblarg, and then I'm top 10. Um, yeah, with B1, I just wanted to make fun of Kitsune and all that neon stuff that rookies love to grind, and I also wanted to mimic like Illumination 5, where you just B5, I think, where you just fly up that one ramp and you try to cut the edge as close as possible, which is also something that rookies love to grind apparently. But it didn't end up working as well as like the LE bonus, well, and the hard X bonus, which are obviously uh very good. The command is MMP, mapper most playtime. Yeah, you have the hard X bonus, which ended up being sleeper.
Oh
And ended
yeah,
up
this does look
infesting.
familiar.
Yeah, it ended up infesting everyone with the need to make a fucking arched head serve. It's crazy. Yeah, Juxtapo is absolutely insane with his playtime. Like, I remember celebrating that it reached 21 years because it was like fully American adult at that time, and now it's that was not 3 years ago. So yeah, I recently hit one rank 100. Hell yeah.
That's
It
all
was
of
it's
the maps.
Yeah,
so we can
I
just go
gotta
straight into
g-
questions.
let me get a quick hit out against Jazz Agent because at the time that I released I put it on the server immediately because I can do it as an admin and fuck you. He wrote like a whole post about oh, this isn't up to par, like why does this skip queue? And now it's like actually the map with the most playtime that I've released. So I do think this map is up to par with the other stuff I've made. Thank you.
All right, we only have mapping and like KSF questions, I think, left. We've
Mm-hmm.
gone through all of the maps. Unless there's a bonus from someone else's map that you're particularly proud of that we can watch.
No. Well, my benevolent bonus has a lot of playtime, but I never really understood why, so I am quite proud of my bonuses in general, but like we made a compilation. Um what is this? Oh yeah, no, instead of linking benevolent, hold on, bonuses by Sam Louis. What the fuck? Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yes, put on the
Thank you.
yes. Um, yeah, ask away. Uh, Let me check the docs questions. Um, or do you have like a question that you want to? Oh yeah, who's the one mapper if asked you would collab with without hesitation by Puffin? It's definitely Synchronize and Juxtap. Just like I always wanted to be part of the Canadian gang because they're undoubtedly like unquestionably the best mappers, like the best country for mappers. um, and they had just so many amazing projects over the years, and then they adopted Maz. Out of all mappers that I could have picked, they picked Maz, which is like we joke about being rivals because his name is my name backward. Um, and I hate that. I hate the fact that he got to be a part of Surf Illusion. I didn't because I always wanted to be part of Canadian collab. So those I would 100% be around for another collab or for a map. And then also like Hisuka, I would I would very much like to work with Hisuka again, but I know that he's
Yeah, I'll highlight some questions I see.
Mhm. What is the most frustrating part of Hammer? It's hard to say because I've gotten used to so many things over the years. I was just always more stubborn than Hammer, but I like the whole like obviously is like insanely annoying and like brushes breaking and you having to do redo them, and then also you have like texture alignment issues, but I don't know. I'm too old to be mad at those things. I just learned to live around them at this point. It's kind of like a functioning marriage. There is no love in it, but you learn to live together. I think. Um, Lighting is the most annoying for me. I mean, like the one thing that I can the one tip that I can give you is try to use it as much environmental lighting as it's just so much easier to make things look good when you have windows that sunlight. Have theme you wanted to do and subsequently put you off from using that theme? Um, Not really. Um, like I have had a lot of ideas over the years, and then people have realized them, but like I can't be mad about that because like you have ideas all the time as a mapper, but you realize only a small percentage of that, and if someone else does it first, then so be it. Um, yeah, I can't really think of anything right now. What would you see more and less of in regards to surf maps? So I have very strong opinions. Sorry, I keep seeing myself look up and it's annoying me. I have very strong opinions on what you should focus on as a mapper because like I've been through all of the phases, I would say, because I was hunting like recognition, I was trying to prove myself, was the like detailing of my maps and other people making more realistic shit and using props and all that shit over the years. And like the one thing that I care about nowadays is just authenticity. And so what I said earlier, why like if you don't want to grind your own maps, then why should anyone else care to do so? Like why should anyone else like to play your maps if you don't even like to play yourself? And like just make something that is fun. Like uh for me the priority list is like number one spot is just fun. Doesn't matter if it's for like it's never gonna be fun for everyone, but make something that you can fun in or like someone you know considers fun. Like if you want to make a unit map, like then do that, but make something fun. And then the second priority is always accessibility. So it doesn't fucking matter what your map looks like. If it's just like obviously you shouldn't just make it def textures, you should make it Fulbright, but those are also aspects or like stuff that influences accessibility. But your maps should have like you should see where you're supposed to go. You should get like you should guide the players on where to go next. And those are like two things that you cannot compromise on, like making something that's fun to play and making something that's like accessible that you can follow the player. You can guide the player and the player can follow this guidance. They can like oh no, you want them to turn right, so you curve they don't slam into the next corner. I don't fucking know. But like if you have these things set, only then should you worry about like making things look good and using models and all that stuff. Like there are so many maps that don't use models that have shit lighting. I don't know, like their brushwork is absolutely atrocious. Like as someone who has to decompile maps and look at them hammer, I can tell you that so many of your favorite maps look absolutely ass. Like, it's that none of those things are as important as making something that's fun, something that's accessible, and something that just has soul in it. So that is something that I always want to see more in Surf. Like I joke about like, oh, don't make another tier 7 unit map with like Disres or P2, whatever. But like if you burn for tier 7 unit maps and you want to make tier 7 unit maps and you really really care about how well that tier 7 unit map ends up being, like you're infinitely more precious to the community than someone who just bangs out uh fucking off the shelf cookie cutter surf with like absolutely no soul. Like those are the maps that you will play once or twice and then you just forget about it. So why even bother making them in the first place? It's not adding anything to the universe that is Surf. What has soul? Um First thing that comes to mind is Surf Sacrifice, weirdly enough. But there are a lot of things that have soul in Surf. Yes, controversial questions are allowed, but like the maps where you can tell that the surf, yeah, Surf Leidenfrost, exactly that. Like, yeah, I just saw you Google Jaws surfing. That threw me off. Um, but like Surf Fast, obviously, like with Surf Taiko, you could tell that Taiki really loves unit surf and wants to make good unit surf. Same with Giga Pete. Fucking Surf Crush was like Dizzy having another psychotic episode where she wanted to make like really debilitating surf, which also has soul. Like it's just something that you can tell that the mapper cares about. And I don't know if we're talking about Solus, I don't want to really drag anyone, but I guess Uzi is not in a community anymore. Like Surf Believe is like the most soulless map I've ever seen. Like it is unbelievable how bland and unoriginal that map is, and I hate it with a passion. I don't know if you want to put it up on on stream because it
Can
really
someone
is.
link it?
Yeah, you can. I think Surf Belief you'll find it quite easily, but I can link it to. Like Surf Belief was a map that oh yeah, actually cannot Surf Belief WR was, I'm pretty sure it was only released because Uzi wanted to have like a map credited to himself. That is my opinion on that.
Wait, I remember
And
this map.
it's like um it's also something that got me into the beef with Inova. Because like you can just tell that like these maps are not made by people who want to like grind uh like they don't want to grind a good time on this map themselves. They don't want to play this map. Like neither this nor like some of the Inova bonuses and shit like that. They would never try to have a good time on it because you can enjoy surfing like flat textures or having like glass on a unit bonus. Like it just sucks. It's you if you cared about the surf, if you cared about the play feeling of it, you would make it better. That's uh that's what I and that's what I want to see in more drama. Um, you're gonna have more drama when mappers care about their maps, but like if you don't want to play it, don't release it. I don't fucking know. Would you say the same about Anubis? No, because I've seen Sneaky. Like I know Sneaky, and um I know that Sneaky loves that kind of over the edge, difficult stuff. Oh yeah, Surf Banana is also absolutely atrocious when it comes to that. Just flat textures, unit surf, and you just know that the mapper would never, like, they don't enjoy that map. Yeah. I'm sorry for like calling out actual surf maps, but you cannot get around it. It's you just look at it and you go, oh yeah, no. But yeah, Gleam was the same as well. Yeah, you're right. And then you had Gleam 2, which was unit surf. Your fellow shit internet person or what? So in Germany we associate via bad internet. So this might be the map that made me start mapping. It better have been out of spite because this is bad. It is horrible. Surf Locks is also bad. Yeah. Good. I that's how I would uh guess based on what I know about you, Ali. Um yeah, I don't know if you I want to see people care about their maps. I want people to make maps because they want to have that kind of content so that they can play it. Like look at Otto's Queen of the Ween. Such an insanely soulful map. Like such a good map because like it's so obvious that Otter, which is someone who grinded ambient, wanted to have surf like and wanted to be able to grind more surf like that. So they made a, a map with surf that they care about.
Yeah,
And then look
luckily
at
Curtis is still around, so I don't have to start mapping.
like and then look at fucking Q as a counterpoint who like there's so many accessibility issues in Q maps and you can just tell that he doesn't like it doesn't feel like he grinds the maps themselves. And I don't think I've ever seen him have a profile on KSF. So I'm not a mapper or anything, but I'm not sure what's wrong with Banana. Uh oh, he does grind his maps. All right, I might be. I was proven wrong, but that's just the kind of vibe that I got from maps. Yeah, Banana is a unit map with flat textures, so it has depth perception issues, and depth perception is like the most important aspect in Surf. Also, Lols, did I miss a bunch of questions? I'm pretty sure that you want to talk about Surf Blocked? No. I really don't. Um,
I had another one from Spy. Do you have
mhm.
like other than what you already said about like caring about like giving the people direction, like are there any other tips that you would have for like experienced or beginner mappers?
Mm, um, well, for beginner mappers and or like people who want to get into mapping in general, or I think this is something for any hobby, any creative. Don't care about your first project too much because it's gonna suck, and that's fine. Like that is perfectly fine. That the first project or the first map that you work on is not gonna be your best work, and like, uh, just get them out. Just get it out because then you have like an idea of the whole process, and then you can build on that knowledge and have fun with it. Like if you're having fun with mapping, uh, do it. If you're not having fun, don't do it. Don't force yourself too much. Obviously, you want to stick to some schedule at times because not all parts of the hobby are fun. But like no one's forcing you to do this, and so forcing yourself to do this isn't gonna make it an enjoyable experience. What if I'm passionate about the idea and don't want it to suck? Well, you can try your best, but it's gonna suck, and that is like most of the time it's gonna suck. You're
And
gonna find. Sorry.
I was gonna say you can also like with Solus revisited Neoteric.
Yes, yes. Like you can always come back to that. That's actually a really good point. What's up, Spy? It took you some time to get here. I hope the move is good. Um, you can always revisit it, and that's actually like a really good experience to see how much you've learned since then. Um, but like your first map is just gonna suck. It's just the truth. Like obviously you have some diamonds in the rough, like fucking Disres with a sail and whatnot. But it's fucking Ellie and Hellenic. But it's fine if it sucks. Um, and just make your next map better. Just learn from stuff and keep going at it. And uh, you'll make amazing maps in no time. And I think we're getting edged again. So I don't know if I should keep talking about it or not.
Um, Go ahead and keep talking, I think. Um,
All right.
at this point, it's just
Um,
a Q&A. Well, I don't know. I guess you don't want
yeah.
to interrupt the person's question.
Keep talking. Frick the free people. True. Um. Yeah. Ollie made corruption, and it's another example of a map with a lot of soul because he really wanted to make that tier 8 unit surf happen. And he spent like I think like 200 hours on gameplay alone. And you need to mute yourself. Um, any more tips for beginners in mapping? Focus on the fun. Uh, like I see so many mappers get like sucked into this idea that you need to have a gimmick. Uh, like I'm not like I know that Puffin is gonna feel personally attacked or like personally mentioned from, but like the having a gimmick isn't the most important part of a map. Like the most like if you like, hey, I'll make every single start of my stages like a 256 long jump, and then at that or 260, I don't fucking know about long jump. Um, like it's cool to have a gimmick. It's cool to like explore creative like limits as an idea to get your juices flowing, whatever the fuck. But like the most important question you want to ask yourself is just, is it fun? Because it's a game. It's a game that's meant to be played, and people are only going to play it if they think it's fun. Otherwise, they're going to grind through it to get a completion, and then they're going to discard it. And you don't really want to have that happen to something that you invest a couple hundred hours in. So for me, the main question is always, and I feel like that is something that like mappers should bully each other for, because like I'm best friends with Dizzy, and Dizzy has like these really atrocious ideas, and sometimes I just need to bully Dizzy like, hey, before you make this, because it's an interesting thought for you, have you considered whether or not it's fun for someone out there. If it's fun for someone, then sure, go. But if it's not fun and you're just doing it because you want to torture people, maybe don't. Maybe invest in something else. Um, so I don't know. Find what's fun for you in surf and make surf that is like that. And it didn't work this time. Yeah, I know. Um, yeah, like just people will love you if you make if they find some like the same thing fun and you make more stuff like that. Like obviously they're gonna complain if it's quality, but then like make it better and then they're gonna love you and you'll have fans. Why Spy Complex has so many fucking fans because people love like this idea of techie fucking contrarian alternative surf and he just kept making that and kept getting better at it because he himself found that fun. And when he made something that was more hard than it was fun, I would bully him for it. And everyone needs to have that kind of friend to be honest and bully you for something that you make that isn't focused on this most important aspect of surf.
I really love that answer. Koga asked what differences stand out to you in regards to changes to mapper styles over the last like 10 years.
Um, I feel like with Bongiorno making um da, 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 da. Bongiorno made Source Ops, the Blender extension, which lets you export to source way more easily. Plugin did, and I feel like people have gotten a lot more focused, which I find weird because, like, I get it, but at the same time, Surf is so like it adds so much overhead to your mapping. I don't know, maybe that's an old head take, but I find brushwork a lot easier to like manage and like even the annoying stuff like lighting and shit like more pleasant when you focus on brushwork instead of and I kind of fear that um um people are getting like this wrong sense of importance when it comes to spamming models. Um Yeah, like I can't make my own 3D models. Like barely can make like text models, and then I like if I was a new mapper now, I would think that this is like a really important aspect of making maps when it isn't. Like, nope, not at all. Um, so that's definitely different. Um, other than that, I feel like on one hand it's good like this is maybe this isn't something that has happened in the last 10 years more like in the last 15 years um but people have gotten way better at figuring out like design principles for surf for mapping like proper level layout and ability and I know this is kind of controversial before but um I feel like in some way people have gotten too good at having um like a good feel for what surfers are going to do in their maps or in their stages. And they've gotten a lot better and they've gotten better at having people test it and stuff like that. And so a lot of the like old jank that so many people love and like the shortcuts that used to be possible because people just didn't consider the fact that stuff like that was possible when making the maps. Like that has kind of gone out the window, and like making something unintuitive, but then finding an intuitive route through that, or like finding a good route through that, that kind of stuff isn't made as much anymore because people have just learned to do things better. But there's a lot of charm in that old style, and I think some people like this is the kind of stuff that um some people miss when they say like, oh, prefer like old style stages. Yeah, Otter is correct. Like this applies to the gaming industry as a whole. Like I remember when I was like 12 years old playing League of Legends. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I was having so much fun. And nowadays, if I were to play League, which gladly I'm not, I would like look up guides and like what do the pro players do, and like what items should I buy, and how should I uh, get my tempo right, and how should I position? And there's just like it's a game, and you're meant to have fun with it, and I don't know if it's all focused on competitiveness and being as clean cut as possible, you kind of miss out on. Um, yeah, there's a resurgence with that, and you have stuff like fucking subreddits about old school Minecraft and shit like that, where people are just trying to find that childish joy again uh before they went too competitive over stuff. I don't know. I'm just an old rambling man at this point, but I do feel like that's definitely something that's changed over the years, and
Uh,
it's hard to get that back.
Koga asked where you see surf in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, do you think we're gonna have like any more like big design principle changes or like any like with CS2 or Momentum
Mm.
mod? Like any comments there?
Um, have you? Yeah, you have muted. Okay. Um, I I don't know. Um, and I actively try not to think about it because in 2020 we had like player numbers, and you could feel this sort of vibe that Surf was dying. And everyone was like doom posting about it, and as like the person in charge and the only could get untouched to do things, I felt like really, yeah, Surf is that was like around that time when people really did think that Surf was actively dying. And at that time, that thought really killed me because I felt like there was so many cool things to do with the game mode that hadn't been explored, but I didn't have the capabilities to do it. But I still felt responsible for the community dying, more or less, which is stupid, but alas, we are human. Um, Nowadays, like I said, I actively don't think about it. If Momentum mod tomorrow and they kill the community, then that's that. We still had like a really good run. And I'm not really sure if that's even gonna maybe the community will continue on. It'll just be on Momentum mod, whatever. But like I have a new idea on what to do in the game mode every other day. Like right now, I'm working on like now that I can do stuff in the plugin, I'm working on random weekly map challenges where you can win VIP, and you can have like an alternative ranking system based on your performance every week, stuff like that. It's like stuff to get people to have like shorter, like the issue that from like a game loop, uh like from a game loop perspective, the issue that Surf has is that you have a lot of short term goals, like, oh, I want to complete this map, I want to get top 10 on this map or G1, and then on the other side you have really long-term goals like, oh, I want to reach top 100 or top 50 or top 500, whatever. But like you have nothing in between that, and that's kind of where I'm trying to find cool things to do. And being in IT, I can do these things, and I have all the creative freedom, um, because Untouched trusts me with the community, um, and so that's definitely something that's going to change in the near future. And I have like a billion other things in my brain that I also bonus tiers, stuff like that. Those are all going to be like bring like fresh wind into the scene. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It greatly, because if we don't have people mapping, we don't have content. It's just over. But I don't think that'll be anytime soon. We always have new people coming in. We have like old returning every now and then because it's just a good game, and uh people can enjoy it if they feel like it whenever they want to. Website compatibility on Steam browsers in the future. I have no idea what compatibility on Steam browsers and bodies, but you have brought that to my attention now.
I don't think we have any more questions from the like Discord that were submitted.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Uh, any regrets?
any regrets? Um,
Or Spy also asked how you deal with criticism to your work.
well, not really well, if you look at the history. Um, yeah, I am someone who cares a lot about the maps that I've made. I care a lot about basically everything that I do. Um, and it's definitely gotten me into a lot of trouble in the past because I would assume that people like it's a personal attack to me, when people criticize my stuff. But I don't know. I've gotten, and I've gotten a lot more secure uh as a person, because I know that what I'm doing seems to be working. Um the best German mapper is Songray, and it's not even close. Um and I don't know. I don't identify myself purely through mapping or like my hobbies anymore. So that's where I've gotten a thicker skin, or I've gotten to care less in a good way. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really act like I didn't spend hours arguing with people over like random idiots calling my maps bad because they didn't like me as a person. I don't know. It's just uh try to embrace the people who enjoy your maps, and uh fucking whenever someone says something nice about you or your maps, screenshot that, put it in a folder. Whenever someone being bad to you, uh fucking look at the folder and realize that's just like a minority. um Mount
That's
Rushmore of mappers is all just Canadians. It's Juxtapo, Ferrix, Synchronize, uh maybe Billy. um Sorry, you wanted to say something.
I don't remember.
Okay. Any mappers you want to see come, you want to come out of retirement? Yes, exactly what I just. Billy especially, Billy, Sangre, and then Juxtapo, and like we should honestly put like we should lock Ferrix in a basement and have him produce maps 24/7 forever, because like you cannot underestimate how much Ferrix has done under the hood. Like 666 and fucking so many Canadian maps, which are like top playtime maps, wouldn't have been a thing without Ferrix. Don't mention Creole about Sam. No, please don't. I have strong opinions.
All right, it's been almost 2.5 hours. Crazy.
Jesus.
I cannot thank you enough for all the time you've given me today.
Hey man, I cannot thank you enough for giving me this opportunity to ramble on and on. Oh yeah, remember to hydrate. More race? Uh, maybe. Maybe I should just make Surf Race H. I saw that in chat earlier, and it would be a nice playtime farm with minimal effort.
Yeah, so chat, get your last minute questions in. We're probably gonna wrap up here. Release Sam back to his, life and family and shit.
You should make a B-hop map? No, I shouldn't. Who you gonna verse 1v1s? I don't know. Best Crowlington map is Epiphany. Tournaments, events coming up. No mapping contests because we need to do those sparingly, otherwise people get oversaturated and mappers get burned out. Surf tourneys, I'm not involved because I don't know, the Australians did it. What's the thing about mapping you love the most? Getting people to enjoy the stuff that you make. Vanchi, komm vorbei, können wir gerne machen. Can I hire you to make a map about 360 flicks? No. Unless you pay me like $100 an hour. Hardix? Hardix, yes. Okay. Looks like that's it. Can we get Pfannkuchen or not? Yeah, I already answered that. Like, yes, obviously. Like, I said that like 2 weeks ago. And I don't know, like I'm all right, so using this as a platform to shout out, like if anyone wants to pick up the spot of like doing like surf tourneys, like we're more than happy to provide you with all the help that we can give you. Uh Same we did with the Australians with like servers and like plugins, and fucking I can make you scripts and shit like that. Um,
Juke
but
is
you got to be
working on
serious about it.
1v1s right now.
Like you got to be serious about it. If you're not serious about it, then we're probably not gonna respond because it's not something like haha. Let me do that and then never mention it again. Um, do you have a set of maps you consider required knowledge for map? No, not really. I tried thinking of maps, but all I could think of was like Surf Me with like different routes and synchronized maps. I don't fucking know. Would you rather have a tattoo of your meat on your back or have a tattoo of your back on your meat? Back tattoo on my meat.
You did
Uh,
not answer that. All right, everybody give claps in chat. Give goats in chat.
what's your dream theme? Oh, what's my dream theme? I wanted to have a kind of like a torture facility with a lot of moving parts, kind of like the crushers that you go through in Portal 2, stuff like that. I wanted to have a really hard map with that theme, but I never got around to it. And also like doing the like ultra clean stuff that I did for Solace even better is always something that I love and that I would enjoy doing. And also having uh I really like I'm sort of autistic, so I really like when I drive under a bridge where there's railroads above and then there's a train passing as I drive through. And so I thought of that feeling as a map where you just pass moving objects, kind of like train, maybe like futuristic shit like that, as you surf. That would be cool. Any height maps in the making you're excited for? No. No. Everything that Ellie is working on, which should come out eventually, right? And then also what Disney's working on, which should come out eventually, right? And then also what Disres is working on and Pietu are working on. And uh obviously all like check out Vey on SoundCloud and Spotify. Those are also hype maps as far as I'm concerned. Um yeah, I think we're good.
All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to grab a cigarette, go to the bathroom, and then I'll come hang out and chit chat with y'all some more. Sam, you're welcome to stay and chit chat longer, but we'll call that an interview complete.
Yes. I'll go have dinner.
All right, have a good night. Thank you.
All right, thank you too.
GG's, that was so fun. That was like I know I have to pee so bad. That was like an hour longer than the Hardex interview, which we thought was gonna go or was already too long. Wait, I'm gonna end it here and then turn right back on so that it's easier for me to download the VOD to upload to YouTube and I won't have to trim it.